You're 8, belly hollow as a broken drum. Your little brother is licking rainwater off a cracked bowl like it's stew. And the alley stinks of fish guts, smoke, and meals you'll never eat. No bread, no meat, no tomorrow, unless someone pays for it. Your mother pulls you close. Her hands shake, but her face is set, like she already spent all her crying. A slaver waits behind her in a red cloak, rings flashing when he points down the road. He talks about Ostapor like it's salvation. Brick walls, full bellies, a bed, a purpose, no fear. He promises you'll wear a cap, hold a spear, and never have to beg again. Sounds like heaven, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. He leaves out the part where they carve heaven out of you with a blade. Your mother keeps nodding. The slaver keeps smiling. And you understand, this is a sail wearing a rescue mask. You try to argue. You promise you'll steal better, work harder. But hunger is louder than pride. The slaver squats, tilts your chin, checks your teeth like you're a mule at a market. Strong, he says. And your mother flinches like she got slapped. A pouch of coin drops into her palm. It clinks. Not much. 3 silver pieces. Not enough to buy a goat. Just enough to sell a son. Congratulations on your new career. They sit you down at a plank table that wobbles with every breath. No maester here. Just a butcher with clean hands. Someone pins your shoulders and tells you to hold still, like you have a vote. Wait, where's your mother? Already turned away. Of course she has. The knife flashes, and the world becomes pain. White hot, total. You bite down on leather until you taste blood, and your body tries to crawl off the table without your permission. They take your family jewels, and everything that makes you a man is gone like it was never there. When you come back, you're on sand under a punishing sun. A line of boys stands beside you, faces gray, legs shaking. In front of you, a small altar to the Lady of Spears. Someone tosses something familiar into the coals. It sizzles. It smells like it's yours. A cup is shoved into your hands. Dark wine. Medicinal. Dirt and flowers that shouldn't be eaten. Deadly nightshade. Bloodfly larva. Black lotus root. They call it courage. You swallow anyway. The taste clings to your tongue like a curse. Half the boys don't make it past sunrise. You do. Lucky, they say. You survived the knife, and the rest of you bled out somewhere in the sand. You're 10. Ostapor rises in red brick and heat. The good maesters glide past in their talkeras, smelling of perfume and power, talking about you like you're furniture that learned to walk. The harbor is chains and shouting. The streets are eyes. In the barracks, older Unsullied watch you with faces carved from stone. Not cruel, not kind, just empty. They're not men anymore. They're the finished product. This isn't a training camp. It's a factory grinding boys into spears. Your wound never heals clean. Some days it leaks. A veteran calls you Drip. The name sticks. You laugh when they laugh. Laughing beats bleeding. You're Drip now. Could be worse. Could be corpse. The wine comes with every meal. They call it courage. First it twists your stomach. Then it floats your head. Then it sands the edge off everything until you feel less. Less fear, less pain, less you. Courage in a cup. You drink it anyway. Ostapor doesn't need boys. It needs steel. You start as meat on a hook. If you're useful, you become a spear. Spears don't get to ask where they're going. A season passes and the city keeps chewing. Days blur into drills. Stand till your feet go numb. March till you taste copper. Hold shield till your arms scream. Keep holding. Blink wrong, whip comes screaming at you. Quiz yourself daily because your survival depends on it. They hammer rules into you with the same patience they hammer formation. No rape, no plunder, no breaking ranks. Obedience is the only virtue that keeps you breathing. You scrub armor until your fingers crack. You cleanse latrines because someone has to. And in Ostapor, someone is always you. The wine comes with breakfast. The wine comes with dinner. Courage poured like a ration. You start to forget what your own voice sounds like. But will you ever be more than the boy they beat first? You're 15. They give you a puppy. Small, ugly, perfect. It sleeps against your ribs like you're still human. Sweet, right? Wrong. This is a test. You feed it scraps. You hide it from others. For the first time in years, something looks at you like you still feel. Then an overseer drops a dagger into your hand. Kill it, he says. Bored. Your throat tightens. The puppy licks your chin, trusting you like that isn't dangerous. You do it fast, clean, You stare at the sand so you don't have to see the last look in its eyes. Some boys can't. Those boys vanish. After, they slide you into the edge of a real file. Shield touching shield. Tiny promotion. Bigger cage. If you can kill what loves you, what can't they make you kill next? The next test comes without warning. They hand you a coin daily. You save them. Hide them. Tell yourself it's for the future. For freedom. Maybe. But will that day ever come? Maybe not. Mostly you just like having something that belongs to you, even if it's just a filthy copper. On the final day, they march you to the slave pens. Air thick with terror. Mothers clutch children. An overseer points. Buy one. Wait, what? You're saved coins by a newborn. Astapor has a sense of humor. You choose a newborn because you can't bear to pick a child who can speak. The mother stares at you with eyes so wide they look like they've already cracked. They place the infant in your arms. Warm, light. It makes a small sound, like a question. The order comes anyway. You do what you were trained to do. You leave your mind the way you learned to leave it on the cutter's table. Your face stays blank. Your hands move. The mother's cry follows you even when you can't hear it anymore. They mark you finished. Congratulations. Full spear. Killed love twice. Didn't blink. They give you a name. Grey Worm. You repeat it. Grey Worm. Worms survive. You're 20. You stand in perfect lines under a sun that never feels warm. Krasny's Monoclose walks the ranks, speaking Valyrian, laughing about what you've lost and what you'll never be. The good maesters grin. You don't move. The wine and the years have sanded you down to smooth stone. Daenerys Stormborn arrives. Dragon, young face, old eyes. She bargains like your cattle. One dragon for 8,000. The math's wrong. The masters say yes anyway. Greed makes you stupid. The moment she has the whip, she turns it in your hand and says, you are free. The word hits you like a slap. Then she whispers to her dragon, Dracarys. Masters turn into ash. Then she says, kill the masters. You do. Spear in, spear out. Grey Worm doing what Grey Worm was built to do. After, she offers you a choice. Leave or stay. She even tells you to pick your own name. You try to imagine a name that isn't a joke. Nothing comes. So, Grey Worm stays. Yunkai, Marine. Walls and arrows and streaks slick with blood. You hold the line while Sel's words break. You become the tip of her justice. Even as your knees ache and your sleep fills with knives. Astapor's masters are dead. The spear is still in your hands. You're 25. Old for Unsullied. Most are dead. Joints creak. Stomach rebels against courage. 17 years of drinking it. Your wound still leaks. Drip, remember? Some names stick. Some nights you wake gripping an invisible hilt, heart racing. And it takes a minute to remember you're not back on that table. In Meereen, the sickness crawls through the camps. You try to stand watch anyway. You sway. Once an overseer would have beaten you for that. Now a brother catches your elbow and guides you to the shade. Kindness feels unfamiliar, like a language you were never taught. You're 27 when your breath gets thin and stops. No banner, no drums, just sweat, sour wine, and the quiet click of the world moving on without you. You survived the knife, the puppy, the baby, the wars. But in the end, fever got you. You stayed loyal, obedient, useful, till you weren't.